met in this room, and I don't know how I saw it, but I saw it this week or late last week about all the new people. But of course, we continue in athletics with new people. So new sports information director, communications specialist, I should say. Now it seems who was with us, some last year, but full time, help running that side for our baseball program. And of course, our third year in a row, a new marketing, person, that's in charge of marketing for baseball, Janice Rubert. And Janice is outside with about 2,000 students waiting to open up a gate, to let them in. We obviously, this is a great time for us, and this meeting always means, this press meeting always means that the season's right around the corner, just a couple days away, and so always a great time for us. It's been 8 months since probably standing here in a press conference after a tough Monday, from a very good club. And so I think players, coaches, and fans, I know, are excited to put the uniforms back on and get started again. A lot of you ate lunch over in our dugout club and got to tour a little bit and see our new facility that's kind of been building now for a couple of years, but we've been in the building since mid-September. And man, what a awesome place, as you can tell, and just very fortunate. And I'm very fortunate. I think we're all fortunate. The players, the coaches, to be part of a university and athletic department and a community that really cares about baseball. To build that type of facility for your baseball program. And so fortunate to be in that, and what a building. Privileged to announce today that many of you heard we broke a season ticket record a couple weeks ago, but to announce today that I heard this morning 7,101 season tickets, which breaks last year's or 2 years ago record, 2017 record, by almost 900 tickets, and not a reserve seat left in the stadium. Remember the last expansion came in 2009 when we had 4 sellouts in a row of season tickets of all the reserve seats. That was back, in the days when Parrish remembers, and Chase and some of the other guys in this room, that people would buy their chairs at Walmart, and if you bought your chair there, you could cut off the back legs and put it on the hill. And so we remedied that by selling them season tickets. And so maybe another motivation for Ross and Keith to look at the next expansion. But we're excited to announce that, and what a neat thing to say that you sold over 7,000 seats for a baseball season. With that, I guess the best thing to do is to just talk a little bit about the team, and then open it up for questions. It was a great fall, and as we got back on the field this fall and watching the kids get after it, and certainly the way the season ended last year was tough for us, but we returned so many from last year's team. 7 of the starting 9, I think 11 pitchers that lettered for us last year. And it was one of those falls different than maybe 2 years ago, where you had so many new guys. This year, when you go over things like bunt defenses and first and third offense and first and third defense and things of that nature, guys like Gray Kessinger and Thomas Dillard and Ryan Olenek, they've been through it so many times. You don't take it for granted. But much easier, and you love when you have older guys like that, great leadership, that you got many coaches out on the field, not just the ones that you see in the media guide, but guys that like Gray that can help out younger guys like Justin Bench and so on in the infield. And so it was a good fall, a little different for us because we were able to play 2 fall games, and I don't know from a coaching standpoint if we learned any more from the team. I don't know, does it help you in any way? But the one thing that I think it does is it really doesn't cost any money, and it certainly breaks the monotony up, for the, I think the programs, for the student athletes to be able to, instead of trade an inter-squad game, to go out there and play somebody in a different uniform, and I know that was a lot of fun. We've had a good 3 weeks of preseason practice here, although relatively dry up until last week. A little chilly, but we're able to get all the games in on the scheduled days, so the pitching is in order and ready to go for this weekend. So we'll start with the pitching. On Friday night we'll start Will Etheridge. Will's a junior right-hander that for most of his career has pitched in the bullpen. As a freshman, he got a handful of starts early in the season, but it's really been a mainstay and a big part of our bullpen, and a big reason why we've had so much success with our bullpen the last couple of years. I really think going into the fall, and we talked, Will and I, over the summer, he really is the guy that should be that person. He knew that he had to go out and earn it, but when you look on paper, he's the guy that's probably thrown the biggest innings of all the guys returning. And as all that we lost the 3 starters from last year, and so that's probably the biggest question mark. And so Will, and I don't want to even say arguably, I don't think left a doubt. I don't think there is an argument that he pitched better than anybody on our staff from the first inter-squad until last weekend. I think he's only given up maybe 2 or 3 runs over maybe 8 or 9 starts in inter-squad games, including a couple scrimmages against outside competition against Arkansas, Little Rock, and Delta State. Pitching on Saturday, or starting on Saturday, will be Zach Phillips. Zach's a junior college transfer that has got electric stuff, and we knew that from the fall, but has really pitched well the last couple weeks of inter-squads, and really has pitched as well as anybody on the staff, and has looked really dominant, and I think gives us a little different look with a left-hander sandwiched in between Will and the Sunday starter and Gunnar Hoagland. Gunnar, big power right-hander, as many of you know, turned down the draft by the Milwaukee Brewers, being drafted in the first round to show up on our campus, and certainly probably the big marquee name of that recruiting class that entered campus this past fall. So that'll be the starting rotation for the first weekend. Another guy that could have started the first weekend, but we decided to put him in the bullpen, is Houston Roth. He'll be probably the first guy out of the bullpen on Friday. Probably log a couple innings in that game and start on Tuesday. And then Parrish, before you ask, we can beat you to the jump here, is Parker Gracie will be our closer. And then, of course, all the guys that I haven't mentioned yet will be in the bullpen to start the season off. Going around